What's going on, friends? Rob Pelton here. Thanks for tuning into the channel. I'm on just a morning walk, like a 2-mile loop at this new park I found down just south of the Twin Cities. It's nice. It's maintained well. It's not crowded. The only downside, it's right next to the highway. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's like rush hour going on right now. But today, I thought I would show you my cooking kit, my cooking system. I actually have two different systems. One I use more than the other, but I've been getting some questions about what I use, so I figured I'd do an updated video. I did a cook set video years ago. You can find that link right up there. You can check that out and see how it's changed, but I'm going to go over both systems with you. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Now, I'm gonna go through my kit fairly quickly. And just a side note, I love taking little day trips, little walks in these little, like, off the beaten path parks. And they're just little gems. A lot of times they're not crowded like the big state parks are. And I come out to these places, I do like a couple miles, and a lot of times I'll bring my cook kit and I'll make like an oatmeal packet, or I'll make some hot chocolate or maybe even some coffee. But I love getting out. It's a banana protector. Don't lie, you'd love one of these. Link in the description. But I love getting out, just for a couple mile walk in the morning, have a warm beverage, have a little warm meal, and then press on with my day. Now, obviously, it's on a day I don't work, right? I can't do it during a work day, but anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. My basic cook system is either a alcohol, like a cat can stove, like one of these things, almost from Midwest Backpacker made this for me, or it's a system that uses a canister stove. Now, this is the BRS 3000T stove, super cheap, super lightweight. Works very, very well, for me anyway. I got a review on this as well. I'll leave that right up here. You can find out my thoughts of it. But this has been my go-to stove. So if a trip is less than a week, I'll bring the canister stove. If it's going to be a week, 7 days or more, the alcohol stove could actually be a lot more beneficial. But the big differences is going to be like boil time, really. Using the alcohol stove, 2 cups of water takes 5 minutes to boil, give or take, whereas the canister stove, it's like 2 minutes. So there's a lot of time savings there. But this is quiet, this is noisy, this is way lighter, this is heavier. It's a whole thing. So you have to weigh and pick and choose your preferences there. But first things first, on my canister stove setup. This is a 750 mil Toaks titanium pot, and inside of it I have nested, if I can get it out, my canister. This is the 100 gram, 110 gram. This is the small fuel canister. I wrap it up in a bandana for 2 reasons. 1, it stops it from rattling all over the place, and 2, you can use this to clean up, you can use it to grab hot pot handles, whatever. But I usually store it upside down, slide it in the pot, take it out, and you're good to go. I have a homemade koozie that I made just out of Reflectix, and it fits it perfectly, protects my hands from hot beverages, and also keeps the contents warmer longer. And the one big thing I've been getting a ton of questions about is this little windscreen. It's made by Optimus, and it literally just clips on to the collar of your fuel canister. Whether it's the big canister or the small canister, the collar is all the same size, but it clips right on there. It blocks the wind. Yes, it's a little heavy, but it works so well, and everything just nests perfectly in it. But I absolutely love it. So, canister stove system. Stove. Lighter. Just to let you know, I've used this exact lighter for like 3 years, because I only use it for this. Windscreen. 750 titanium Toaks. Koozie. Fuel canister with the lid. I know you don't need the lid, but for some reason I think I have to have it. I don't know why. A carry mesh sack that I got from buying something else, and I don't know what it's from, but it fits the kit perfectly. And then of course the lid. And this all goes together to an absolutely awesome cook system. So here's how it is. Fill it up with water. Get your stove system set up. And like I said, the BRS is the smallest, cheapest, lightest stove on the market. It's 16 bucks and it works awesome. And all I use it for is to boil water. I'm not simmering, I'm not actually cooking with it. I just boil water with it. That's it. And make sure that it is turned off before you screw this on, otherwise fuel's gonna go flying everywhere. I clip in my windscreen, just like that. Cup of water. That boils about 2 minutes. Face this into the wind so it blocks. When I'm done, I usually use my rag, put it in my koozie, eat, drink, what have you. Also, when I'm boiling, I do have the lid on it as well to increase the boil time. And that's it. And it all nests together exactly like this. My stuff sack. I put my lid on the bottom. That keeps it from just rattling around and annoying me like crazy. Cup goes in the koozie. Koozie and cup go in the windscreen. Stove in the handkerchief in the cup. Break down the stove. Lighter. All goes in the mesh stuff sack. And that is one whole contained system. Just like that. And I usually put this in the water bottle pocket of my backpack. How much does this weigh? This whole kit with a full fuel canister is 523 grams, or 1 pound, 2.4 ounces. Is it super, super ultralight? No. Is it light enough? Yes. Is it functional? Absolutely yes. Worth it to enjoy hot meals and hot beverages on the trail. I know you're going to ask. The windscreen, just by itself, is 2.9 ounces or 83 grams. Just to let you know. Cook kit number 2. This is the alcohol kit. You can see I basically use a lot of the same things. The same carry sack. Same exact Bic lighter. Different fuel bottle. This is by Vargo. It's an 8-ounce fuel bottle. I really like this because it's got the measurements. And it's got a little flip squirt cap so you can pour, measure, pour, measure. It's pretty nice. Inside, same handkerchief, wrapped up with the cat can stove. I take this out. Of course, my lid. Same koozie. Windscreen. Now this is just a piece of, I don't know if it's aluminum or tin or whatever, but this is just a homemade windscreen that sets up around the stove, just like that. Boil, put water in there, you're good to go. That's pretty much it. There's one last thing that I do add. They have this little aluminum, it's like a vent tube cover. This is just help to spread out the surface area for my pot, just to help keep it a little bit level. So I include all this in here, and it all nests exactly the same. So here's the basic setup. Fuel. About an ounce. I use about an ounce to boil 2 cups of water. I always boil 2 cups of water. And so 8 ounces, so you get about 8 cooks here, whether it's a dinner or a beverage or whatever. So you get about 8 burns essentially. Put the base down, stove, fuel, water, lid, light it. Windscreen, pot. Wait about 5 minutes, rolling boil. Use this again, take it off, do what I need to do. Back in the koozie, eat, drink, what have you. Wait for the fuel to burn out. There's always a little leftover fuel. It's hard to measure exactly, so you just got this little fire. You can warm your hands up until the fuel, you know, is gone. Now, that's a little wasteful. I get it, but that's the nature of an alcohol stove. You can't pinpoint exactly how much you're going to use every single time, so you just have to wait for it to run off. Pack it up, essentially the same. Cup, koozie, windscreen, base, fuel bottle nestles perfect inside the stove, into the handkerchief, down into the pot, throw my lighter in. Now, since the fuel bottle is tall, it's not going to compact down quite as short. And then everything back in the stuff sack. And then again, this goes into the water bottle pocket, the side bottle pocket of all of my backpacks. That's it. That's the alcohol cook system. What does it weigh? The weight, 468 grams, or 1 pound, 0.5 ounces for this kit. A couple of things, and you're probably wondering this. The weights of the stove have different fuel sources, right? Are the weights the same? Yes, I weighed these both out. These both weigh 202 grams a piece, so I can keep this fairly accurate. So just an FYI. And like I said, with the fuel in the alcohol stove, I just use heat. This is just an antifreeze fuel line thingy that we treat our vehicle gas with. Up here in the North Country, when it gets super cold out, the air in the gas tank condenses, turns into water. The water freezes in our gas lines, blah, 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 blah. This helps get rid of all that, but it also burns perfectly in an alcohol stove. This, you can measure out exactly how much fuel you need. As soon as your water's boiling, you turn it off, you're good to go. With the fuel, as soon as your water's boiling, you remove the pot, and then you just wait for the rest of the fuel to burn off. So there is quite a bit of waste there. Now, with these, like I said, I get 8 cooks, about 5 minutes apiece. With the alcohol stove, I get 6 to 7 cooks and 2 minutes apiece. There's your balance there. Faster, a little less. Slower, a little more. And again, you're probably gonna ask. You're probably gonna ask. How much does this windscreen weigh? 16 grams, like nothing. 0.6 ounces. Way lighter than this, but completely different. What should I weigh next? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. The BRS stove, the actual stove itself. 25 grams on the nuts, exactly as advertised. Or 0.9 ounces. The fuel, alcohol stove, the homemade cat can stove. 23 grams. It's 2 grams less than this stove. 0.8 ounces. 0.1 ounces later, so virtually the same. Those are my basic cook systems. Now, last season I used my canister stove more than anything, only because it's just very convenient, it's fast, a lot less finicky, and I just kind of preferred using it. Now, the alcohol stove, it has its uses. It's quiet. You want to kick back, enjoy nature, and just go ahead and let your water boil, you know, while you're setting up camp or breaking down camp and just kind of enjoying it. Fine. I mean, that works exactly fine. But it all depends. I just kind of what I feel like using. They both work amazingly well. So it's just all a matter of what I just want to use at that time. But more recently, it's been the BRS canister stove set. If you want to know more about burn times between cat can stoves and different stoves, Spiguyver Backpacking has kind of a bunch of videos on burn times and how much, you know, cook time you can get for canisters and all that stuff. I'll leave a link to some of those videos down in the description of this. It's very, very telling on what the capacities and uses and of everything is. But if you have any questions about this kit, if you have any suggestions or anything I can change or whatever, any experiences you have with either of these things, leave those questions, leave those comments down in the comment area below. But that's it. That's all I got. Until next time, thanks for watching. Go get a banana protector thing. We'll see you on the next one.